So let's start with what I call mini combos. They're not like full launchers and juggles or anything, but they're moves that just get you a basic follow-up, which is a combo nonetheless. There are a couple different ways this can happen throughout the game, and a lot of them seem kind of trivial, but you can always refer back to this whenever you're getting comfortable and say, oh yeah, I forgot that was there. It might help with something. For the most part, there are 4 moves that share the similar knockdown like that. Counter hit 4 is one of them. They can't tech roll that knockdown, they're stuck. Counter hit sidestep 2, pretty much the same thing. It's a little different animation, but the results are the same. The counter hit on Genjutsu 1, also the same. And your full crouch down forward 3 has this knockdown. Does not have to be a counter hit, but it has to be a clean hit. You can see that didn't knock them down when I'm far away. When I'm close, it does knock them down. So all 4 of those knockdowns share pretty much the same state where you can get a follow-up for free. The easiest and simplest one is just a forward 2. Boom. No consequences, no issues. You can do a down 1+2 and get more damage, but it uses Kazama power and costs your health. So it's up to you if you want to do that. That's going to be an issue with every single thing you do with this character, whether or not you spend health. So it's up to you. You could try and experiment with other things. There are options out there. Right? There's ton. Look at that. That's a lot of damage. But if you're not comfortable with like pulling that off, you could just stick to the single, forward 2, whatever it might be. Try some other stuff, but that's it. Forward 2, down 1+2 are both really good when you get those 4 knockdowns. And always remember, when you're doing a 4, that's the reason you're doing it, right? You're trying to catch that counter hit, so be ready. You don't want to just be out there throwing out buttons and forget what happens. The reason you're using these is for their results. Right, you're going to sidestep 2 as a whiff punish, but sometimes you do catch a counter hit in a string. Just be ready. Next up is the new Izumo stance. They changed how she goes into Izumo drastically compared to how it used to be in the last game. And as it turns out, all of the different strings that go into the stance, they all have a counter hit property that you get a guaranteed follow-up from. So the first 2 sets are forward 1 and 1-1. You see that's the same attack, just, 2 different ways. So the second hit alone, or just forward 1. When they're at counter hit, Izumo 1-1 is guaranteed. It can be a little tricky to land that just right, because they'll block if you're not fast enough. But Izumo 1-1 and 1-2 are both guaranteed. 1-1 will splat to the wall, and 1-2 will break the floor. Should break the floor. They're still standing, I'm not sure. Anyway, it's a nice little splat. You could kind of just mash out 1 and be done with it if you want to, if you're more comfortable with that. But so be it. Those are the 2 mids that go into Izumo, which is new in general. So you're going to want to use those. That on block is still 0, and you have plenty of options. But on counter hit, oh baby, free damage. Look at that. 40 damage for free. The other Izumos are the Izumo Strike. That's the high, spinny homing punch. 4 ways to do this, which are up 2, the second hit of forward 3-2, 1-2-2, like that, and Miare 1+2. They're the exact same hit. All of them are identical. They're the same +6 on block, a +11 on hit into Izumo, but on counter hit, however, Izumo 3 is guaranteed. And you can see that Izumo 3 is a heat engager. So naturally, if I do that again, combo time. So be aware of those. You don't want to do all of these. 1-2-2 sucks. I wouldn't bother with that, but just a random up 2, just boop, up 2 here and there. If you happen to catch that counter hit, guaranteed. Mash that 3. This is free plus the setup. So that's really good. So all the ways to go into Izumo have a little counter hit follow-up. And half of them are combo starter while in heat mode. While in Izumo itself, forward 1+2, that little quick homing move, very good move all around. It really completes the arsenal of what you can do in Izumo. If that lands as a counter hit, she gets a guaranteed 13 frames. That stun leaves them standing invulnerable for 13 frames. After that, they'll recover and stand up. So you got to be 13 or less. So back forward 2 is really good. However, there's another option, which is 1+2. That's a 13 frame move that also is a heat engager. So remember that. If you're doing your Izumo mix-ups and you didn't get the counter hit on your way into Izumo, once you're there are several other counter hits in the Izumo stance, and forward 1+2 is one of them. You get, see, the block if you're late. You get 13 frames for free, which means you can heat engage. You could also do just if you've used it up or whatever, you don't have to have that every time. You can do that. You could do 1-1 for a 50 damage knockdown. Totally cool. It's up to you. So you have that. Up 1 is the base damage, turn the knockdown. Back 4-2 is really nice because it's easy, leaves them standing. 1+2 is a heat engager. Take your pick. The same animation is true for her forward 4. This move, which is a great poking tool, it's homing, and it's +3 on block, which is really good in general. But if you notice on hit, not even on counter hit, this is regular hit. This is +13. Back 4-2 is guaranteed if you do it fast enough. Up forward 1 will not work because they're not going to be in range. That will miss. But the heat engager works. You can heat engage that for free every time you land it. Really, really good stuff. +13, you get a 13 frame move for free, no matter what. Go for it. There is another similar result which comes from down forward 1-2. That second hit by itself, you get an up forward 1 for free, but again, limited by range. If they get counter hit by the second hit alone. She used to have down forward 1-1, which was mid-mid and unsafe. Now she has down forward 1-2 to go with it. So if you're just doing the pokes and, you know, the dances and everything and playing and just doing down forward 1, if you do that second hit and you do catch that counter hit, you get a free follow-up, so just be aware. But again, very short range. The last one to look at is the counter hit on inner piece. This forward 1+2. You notice the move doesn't do any damage. It's just a ton of block stun. If that lands as a counter hit, you get Miyari 2 for free and the heat engager. When you're in heat mode, this move becomes a traditional parry, and it will parry their attack and cause a counter hit. Otherwise, in normal state, you have to interrupt them for your counter hit, and you get Miyari 2 for free. So those are little mini combos. They're not ultra important. Some forward 4 is really good. But the rest of them are stuff that you'll just kind of learn here and there. Once you get used to being comfortable, you can come back and remember, oh yeah, I should use sidestep 2 more because I can fish for that counter hit. You should be using 4 all the time. You're using Genjutsu 1 all the time. Just remember those. When you do those moves, have the follow-up locked and loaded. That's the whole reason you're doing those moves in the first place.